y'all. Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. Y'all. I am Christy.
And I am Mia. Hey.
Hey, guys.
And you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends. So, you guys, our last episode, thank you for joining us this week, y'all. Let's get into it. So, our last episode, we talked about, last week we talked about, like, the collective energy. We just kind of did, like, an energy read about, you know, how it's what's happening on a collective level and how it is playing out individually in our lives. So we hit on a lot of different touch points. But long story short, I'm just going to ask, how y'all doing out there?
So how are you doing, Mia?
I'm good. I feel real good, actually. I can feel things shift and change. I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good place. If I call this the karma harvest season, and it looks like what seeds I planted in the way that I have treated and act towards people must be something that I like, because the karma harvest is pretty
plentiful.
I'm enjoying it.
That's good.
How are you feeling?
Besides getting over a cold, I'm feeling better, but I'm feeling good. Things have just been really busy for me lately. Energetically, I feel good. I feel like I've been getting really great opportunities, like things just coming out of nowhere. Because and I think I shared it with you. I have been struggling. Like, even financially, my money's been off, and it's like, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, she just had a whole conversation. I wish I could.
Yeah, I know. Because I can hear them. But I also had to shift my perspective, and once I did that, things started to shift too.
Yeah, it's never a fun time, when your money start acting like it got a sense of humor. I don't like funny money.
Oh yeah, no, we don't like funny money either.
I do not need my money doing no type of stand-up comedy. I'm good, thank you. Set your ass down. No, but so you guys remember, the harvest season is. Even if at this moment in time you are in a different space when you planted those seeds, that is not going to prevent the seeds from coming up that you planted.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to deal with whatever it is, be that joy or pain. So, anyway. Sunshine and rain. Joy,
yeah, we should.
Pump it up.
Do you guys want to talk about karma? Like how to... Yeah, because I do feel like this is karma harvesting season.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys need to be intentional with everything you do and make sure that your heart is like in the right place when you're making these decisions, because it comes back.
I mean, honestly, I think one way to think of it is to make sure that whatever the decision is that you're making, that it is true to who and what it is that you are, what you're creating and what you want, which actually falls right into
what we're about to talk about.
What we're talking about today, Christy. What are we talking about?
Okay, so today, sorry for smacking my lips. I'm drinking some lemon water. And you know that little side thing? Okay, so we're talking about the concept of living unapologetically. Living unapologetically. Like, I was just telling me, I said, you know what? I feel like maybe 5 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, I wouldn't even, how the hell do I do that? How do I live, like, without caring what people think about me, without, trying to live a life that someone else wants me to live? Like, how do I do that? But now,
I think
maybe it's completely different.
I think understanding what that means first is kind of a thing, because when we say not caring what somebody feels, or somebody thinks about you, that can be interpreted in a different way. There's a different tone and frequency to that. So it could be like, I don't care in the sense that it has no bearing upon how I'm going to live my life. Then there's like, I don't give a fuck about what you think. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like there's a...
Yeah, so no, not that energy.
But when people first start to go into the concept of living unapologetically, it's sometimes we go in fighting instead of going in and we're just trying to find peace in ourselves, and that is what allows us to live unapologetically. But if we go in fighting, so I just want to be clear though what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know that was good.
So when we're saying living an unapologetic life, we're not talking about not being able to apologize when you have wronged somebody, or or not holding yourself accountable because you don't care what nobody else feels. You know what I mean? Like that's not necessarily it. And honestly, we probably do need to do a little bit of a caveat at some point in talking about why we need each other. Because if we don't necessarily need to each other for validation, but there is something. Humans did not come here to do this by ourselves.
Right. And we learn from each other.
Right. You have a tribe. You got people that you vibe with. You got people that are on your... There's a reason for that. You have family. You have friends. There is a reason for that. So living unapologetically does not necessarily mean on your own with nothing and nobody and, you know what I mean, no resources.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that you clarified that because, yeah, when I said I don't care, I definitely did not mean that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's almost like it's just one of those like very small things. Like, well, I don't care, not in a bad way, but it's just I just don't even have the capacity to have any energy towards it.
It's like, yeah. Look, I'm like
just neutral. It's just like, okay, well, next.
Okay, because I do think we covered this pretty well on how to identify within yourself as we go a little bit deeper in this, how to identify within yourself where you are on that spectrum of living unapologetically. I think overall this is about being free to be authentic, feeling free, feeling safe, having faith that who and what it is that you are is worth it, is everything, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says or thinks or believes.
And something that you mind if I quickly share? Yeah. So, for those of you, I am in my late 40s. I guess I'm now considered late 40s. You're right behind me.
Boom. I'm midden, baby. I'm still over here midden.
Look, once you get on that survey and your age is out of that bracket, it's like, damn. Man. I'm no longer in the 25 to the 35. Oh, I don't. Then you move from the 35 to the 40.
No, I'm telling you, the rudest thing ever, if you want a wake-up call thinking you still got it, is when you have to do that long swipe to get to the
born. Like the Wheel of Fortune.
That is, it's embarrassing. I still got to get that one, and then I got to do it again. Yes, no, ma'am. Absolutely.
But what I just wanted to quickly say before we get into it, so I'm in my late 40s, and I feel like I'm just now getting to a point where I feel like I can live my authentic self and be free to be myself. For those of you who may not be there, please do not feel like you are behind, because there is no behind. There is no competition with anyone else. This is all about you, your story, your journey. So if you're not there yet, please know that it will come with time. And again, I'm in my late 40s, and I feel like I'm just now getting there. And it's not perfect. I still have to work on some things, but I just wanted to put that out there. All right. Let's get into the discussion.
Okay, so first thing that comes up, you guys, is let's talk about no longer feeling the need to prove a damn thing to anyone about who and what it is that you are. Now, and I hate that I have to, there's another caveat to this. approve is one thing, sharing is another. Because I do think that when you have friends and family and people who with whom you are very close to and you share your life with, when you switch, change, alter, create new boundaries, remove new boundaries, come to another understanding, I do think that if you want their understanding, if you want them to move to the next step with you, then I do think sometimes it's fair to say, hey, just FYI, I know I used to be about that, or I that's something I didn't used to do, now I do. Sharing with yourself, sharing the updates of who you are, I think is fair. But I also think that's different from having to prove or explain. It's like I'm really throwing you a solid by saying, hey, by the way, for instance, I don't drink anymore. So, I'll go out with you. I'm just letting you know I don't drink. And then if someone says, oh, okay, cool. Well, why? When did you stop? Well, what makes you... Okay, now... I say what the fuck I said. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a difference, because then it's like... You don't want to be people don't like to be put in a position where you have to explain. Because I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I feel like when I feel like people feel like I owe them an explanation of who and what it is that I'm doing or I'm about, like something, I get this feeling that comes over me, and I can't even. I'm not even gonna lie.
I feel you though, but I also feel
who the hell are you?
I
gotta explain a motherfucker that comes to my head, and I'm like, okay, calm down.
But think about it. I feel like our society has almost become that, where we feel like you owe us some answers. Even on social media, these Hollywood people feel like they have to answer to us. It's like, you don't have to answer to anybody. What you do is your business. But I feel like society has made it that way.
If you have if the life that you created for yourself is one that means you share your life publicly. So if that's literally a part of fame. If you're on a reality TV show that's supposed to be the reality of your life, and you have invited people in to the, to your bedroom, seriously, inside your home, and then at some point you decide, I no longer want to do that, then the thing is, you can't pick and choose.
No,
I want
you
agree. In my life, or I want you,
but even regular people, regular people, I just feel like it's almost like, well, how come? Society has made it so that it's okay to question people's choices.
And I say it's okay to answer them how you want to.
Right. Bingo.
Because I felt like it.
Bingo.
Or I'm not answering that. It's like,
yeah.
That's the thing that trips me up. If people feel that they can do or say anything, it always boggles my mind when they don't have an expectation that the person with whom you are doing or saying
they're not
anything
gonna pop off.
They're not gonna do whatever the heck they want to do.
Oh wait,
energy match energy. If they decide you know what I mean? Well, how dare you say that? Wait a minute, hold on. I have to censor myself, but you had no problem digging and putting your shit in my Kool-Aid. Are you serious?
Yeah, you're right.
But I think one of the things, when we're talking about no longer feeling the need, because you can't control people asking. People gonna ask. But the only thing you can control is your response. Now, when you for real no longer feel the need to apologize or explain, it doesn't even trigger you anymore. When people ask this type of question, that's why I'm like, I really do. I can tell, and I'm like, wait, why am I don't even care.
Yeah.
And that, when you are no longer triggered, where you're just like, who you think, you're just like, that's what I'm doing. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Because those are my boundaries.
And period. Okay. And so, or that I don't even want, you don't owe anybody anything, but also understand, if someone is used to dealing with you in a certain manner and you switch it up on them, cause and effect. You're going to have to expect there's going to be something, but you still have a choice of how you want to respond to it. But they might be like, why are you acting funny? It's like, I'm not acting funny, it's just who I am. Also understand their perspective.
Yeah.
If you switched it,
And that's actually something else
They just
that
gonna
I
have to
wanted
get used to it, but
that's something else that I wanted to discuss. Being, also being free and living unapologetically, you are going to have to deal with people in having to deal with you being different. And it's just going to have to be okay. Like, okay, well, clearly that's not my problem. That's a you problem. But I've noticed that too. Like, since I have changed, my relationships, in some relationships have also changed. And some of them that I thought were like real, I've had to learn to let that go.
Think about this. At what point in our adult life do we feel like people aren't supposed to change anymore? We have
I know.
just think about this. Let me see. Jade is turning 12, so she's gonna be 12.
Gosh.
So 4 years ago, she was 8. Nobody has an expectation that she's going to be the same person she is at 12 that she was at 8. There's no expectation of that. But at some point, we have an expectation of the people that we are around that they are not allowed to change. They're not allowed to evolve. Mm-hmm. For some reason, between 36 and 40, you're not supposed to change. Between 40 and 40, you know what I mean? Like, but if you're still living, and maybe it's not even changing, maybe it's more accepting, maybe it's becoming more aware of who you are, maybe it's growing, maybe it's evolving. People make people's their journey, somebody else's journey about them. It don't have nothing to do with
that
you.
Is something. Okay, so I will say, since I have started living unapologetically, it baffles my mind. Like, why are you concerned how I'm living my life?
I mean, people really get butthurt about this.
I don't understand. Like, so you're upset because I'm not doing something you expected me to do?
Sweetie, it's like nails on a chalkboard for people to expect. Like, how dare you not? I mean,
I'm like, why are you bothered? And it's funny because I always tell my boyfriend, I was like, well, you already know, I'm not losing sleep. So that sounds like that's a you problem. He was like, yeah, you don't lose sleep. You don't lose sleep. But yeah, it really baffles me how people get upset because you're not living your life the way that they think you should live.
Okay, so think about it. When you truly are beyond, like for real beyond it, it's even people getting upset. You for real, if that's how you choose to...
Sounds like a you problem.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even triggering to the... it's not even making me upset, or doesn't make you upset. It's just like, that's your response, and you are wholly entitled to feel the way that you feel.
Okay.
But understand, I'm still going to be who I am. And I'm to the point that I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say, hey, you're entitled to feel how you're going to feel, and I'm still going to be who I am. I'm just going to say, I'm telling you, as soon as I probably need to work on this a little bit, but I will tell you, as soon as I feel any type of pushback where I feel like somebody, it feels like I owe an explanation or a further understanding, and it comes off as if you need to show me or you need to or if someone tells, I say, hey, this is how I feel, or this is what happened, and be like, well, that's not what happened, or that's not how I feel. That's stupid. That shit ain't shit. I just shut up. Okay. I'm like, well, there's nothing for me to argue. I'm telling you what I saw, but like, okay, cool. But before it would, even in the journey, because I do, like, we talk about this as layers, it would bother me that the people that I care and love about and, have some type of relationship with didn't believe or trust or understand or even support the movement that my evolution. And then so once you start to really once you start to worry about other people's response, now it's not about you anymore. You're doing something else for other people.
Yeah.
When this is about you.
It's always about you. I think the only time, it's always about you. Even as it relates to someone else, there's a lesson that you're getting from someone else. A lot of times there are, a mirror.
Oh, absolutely.
But another thing, living unapologetically. So where did we leave off? I want to make sure that I'm
no longer dimming yourself.
We finished that one?
No.
Okay. making sure I'm right. So no longer dimming yourself for the sake of others' feelings. I don't think I've ever done that.
Really? I have definitely, absolutely.
You know what? No, I have.
I definitely have.
Yeah, share your story.
Let me say this. I don't think, or I don't believe, that as I was dimming myself or not saying something or, letting someone just be wrong or whatever and not say, I didn't think I was dimming myself. I saw it that I was being a good friend, a good person, because I didn't want someone to feel bad. So, when you're around people, if they're in a space and you're doing amazing, like I would not say like, oh, well, I'm doing amazing. There's no need for that. But it could be really something as simple as, like when I say, just not like turning your energy down or altering your energy because you don't want someone else to feel uncomfortable. When you think about that, first of all, you just jumped all up in somebody's head. How do you know it makes them feel uncomfortable? And second, why are you playing yourself?
Yeah.
So when you are living unapologetically, you don't do that because that is literally treason against yourself. So living unapologetically means that I trust that no matter who and what I am, if I laugh loud, if I talk too much to somebody else, the people who are going to jive and vibe with me are going to come to me when I'm myself. But if I'm pretending or coloring something a different color that doesn't belong with me, I'm playing myself.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only person you playing is you.
Now I feel like I have dimmed myself, not for, I guess not to hurt feelings. I guess I did it to keep my marriage. Because I remember my first marriage, he didn't like me dancing. He did not like me dancing. So my thought was once I got married and had my kids, I would still continue my dance career. But he would like pretend in front of people. He would kind of act in front of people like, oh my gosh, be crying, meeting me backstage, hugging me. But he really did not like me getting the attention. Mm-hmm. And I could tell that it bothered him. So I stopped dancing. But the moment we separated, I got a job. I decided to audition. I was like, you know what? Dance is still in me. Like, I feel like I haven't really gotten it out of my system. I'm going to give myself a year to just dance. And so I did. We had separated by this time, so I had the courage to do it. Got the job with the Lyric Opera. I called his mother to let her know because she might have to help the kids. She told him, and then he called me. He was so upset about it. I won't even get into that. But that's, like, I stopped dancing for that reason. Like, it just, he didn't like it.
Christy, like, when you think about it, stuff like that, when you made the decision, I'm going to stop dancing because it upsets my husband, I want to save my marriage. We could these are the little things that where we hurt ourselves. Mm-hmm. You could very easily justify that was the right thing to do. It's my husband. Just like, it's gonna. I want to do what's best for us. Mm-hmm. And so I can't even. Woo, child. So many of us have done that because we think on the back end. Oftentimes, think on the back end like, I'll take this hit. I will take this hit on me, not on him, but I'll take this hit on me. Because I think it will be returned to me. There's reciprocity in this relationship. But we never take the time to think about what it is that we're doing to ourselves.
Yep.
And it's interesting because when he met you, you were a dancer. This is not like it came up out of this has always been a part of who and what it is that you are. Mm-hmm. So this is a situation where now he changed. So he was either not living authentically and being honest with, who and what it is that he wanted or loved or needed in a relationship. And then so now he switched it up
That's a whole other podcast right there.
Exactly. I'm just using this as an example, but now he switched it up, and then the response is you switched it up. So then nobody's being authentic. How in the heck can anything work and be a cohesive unit if nobody is being authentic? And that's why we have to stop freaking lying to people and changing ourselves to fit to somebody else, because it still won't freaking work. It's not gonna work, because you can only hold that for so long. And then when someone doesn't reciprocate, you like, wait a minute, hold on. I stopped dancing for you, and you can't stop drinking. I'm just making up something, y'all. I'm not calling this man an alcoholic. But there is an expectation of reciprocity, especially when we change or alter who the fuck we are for somebody else. That's why, hey, don't do it, y'all. Just don't.
Don't do it.
Just don't.
Don't do it.
Because it takes so long to find your way back, and you can't. And it's these little itty bitty things. That's one little thing. First you stop dancing, and then it's, it makes him feel uncomfortable when I wear this, or I need to make. All of a sudden you look up, and these little itty bitty tweaks that happen over time, where we adjust ourselves, fine tune ourselves according to somebody else's modifications.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you look up and you have no freaking clue who you are.
Right.
It's like, wait, hold on.
That was
I have
me.
modified my life.
That was me.
Look, I'm like, no, trust me, I'm speaking out of whole experience here. I have modified my life and who I am. And here's the kicker. Didn't nobody tell you to do that?
No.
Isn't
I take full responsibility, but the way that I look at it now, I'm like, well, how in the hell?
Yes.
Like, why would Christy? You gave this person all of the power.
Yes.
To dictate your life.
And they were so upset. Like, I can't.
Right.
But it's like when you look back, you're like, I
man,
did that.
it was me.
Right.
That was my fault.
And so I think that is one of the barriers for people to allow themselves to live unapologetically, because it forces you to realize how many times you've committed treason against yourself.
Yeah. And I have to admit,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm speaking from experience.
I have to admit, now being in this space, being free to live unapologetically, it feels so good. Because it's like, you can either take it or you can leave it. If you take it, lovely. If you leave it, lovely.
I'm still going to be me.
Right.
And when you really enjoy yourself, and it's just like, I like me, and I say this all the time, I rock with me. When someone is choosing otherwise, it's not, there's never let me change to do something to make them like me. It's like, oh, this is not an energetic match for me. I'm going to continue to vibe this way. I don't even have to do anything. Continue to, because the energy will push and force things that do not align with you away from you. But if you keep trying to align with that energy,
you can't blame anybody else but
right.
yourself.
Seriously.
It's so funny. When I first locked my hair, I was like, I did this to myself. Like, there is no one else to blame. But it is true. It's the same. Like, we do it to ourselves. There's no one else to blame but us.
Yep.
Nobody else.
So another thing, you guys, is thinking about, you know how we like, people like to flex, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. When, okay, how can I say this? Because it's true and it really applies to a lot of people. You guys, if you really think about how many things that you do, that we do, that I do, that everybody does for the sake of somebody else's attention.
Instagram.
That's truly with social media, right? Yeah.
Social media.
So, now, I think, it's a double-edged sword, or I should say a sword, or there's two sides to the story. So, we do things that we like, that bring us joy, that bring us freedom, and make us feel like we are literally living our dreams. The question comes in when you are doing things and it has to be shown or shared. Remember this question I asked a while ago, Chrissy? I asked you, if you think about all the things that you wanted in your life, we talk about, say, material things or some level of success. If you received everything that you asked for, but nobody would know. Like, it would have to be like just nobody outside of you and whoever you live with would know that you're a millionaire.
I would be okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but a lot of people wouldn't. It's like, I have to show and prove, especially if people have doubted you. Like keep it funky.
But I don't think I could have doubted said that, you. Though. I could not have said that 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
But now, give me all of my blessings, and I can walk around looking like a bum. I don't care.
So, but think about it. Everybody's, what people define as success, or that I've made it, or this is what a beautiful life is, to me, everybody's is different. So the thing is really, if I am truly accepting of what it is that I want and believe for my life, it doesn't really matter what somebody else thinks it says.
Exactly.
That's because think about how many times, and this is real talk. How many times have you been excited about something? You're like, "Oh, this is real. It's happened to me." This one I'm still working on. You are excited about something, and you go and share with, your loved one, or just say even Kai, your daughter. You're like, "Oh my goodness," and they're like, "Oh, okay," and you feel like, it's
no, like I'm just like, that's all right. I'm gonna celebrate by myself,
girl. Like I'm not gonna lie. Certain people, I'm really still struggling with.
Really?
Yes. And it's like it just can take the air out of. It's like, man, I don't even want to say shit no more. Forget it. Like instead of. And oftentimes I think people are critical at first, even when they love people and, are supportive. Sometimes they can be critical and it can come off. But the point is, if I'm happy about it, it doesn't fucking matter if somebody else is like, oh, that's it.
Right.
But the fact is, that could still affect me. That shit is like,
no,
that's something
that's one of your triggers.
I can feel it. I can feel it when I'm doing it. I'm like, no, why are you doing it? Like, why? Like, for real. Come on, y'all.
So now you just don't share things for that reason?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things that I'll share and certain things that I don't share and certain things that I might not share because I'm afraid. But anyway, and we actually talked about this earlier, but living your life based on your own terms, no one else's. Like, this is your life. This is your journey. You are the one that's doing the healing work. You are the one that is, putting the work in to get to the person that you know that you're supposed to be, that you're destined to be. No one else. So I understand that people who love you, they want the best for you, but no, live your life based on what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that you know that you deserve.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
And at first it's hard because we've done it okay, let me speak for myself. At first, it was so hard. Like, I felt like I completely isolated myself. But then over time, it's gotten so much better. And it's gotten to a point where if someone even says something about my life, I'm just like, I don't even understand. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, almost like you're speaking another language. I'm just like, I don't.
You look so confused. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Like, I mean, that's a conversation I have to share after this about a coworker. Anyway, but no, like, for real, like, I was like, I don't understand why you're pressed about, like, you don't pay a bill, you're not helping with groceries, you don't take out the trash.
Like, not one.
Right, like, you're not, I don't understand why this would even, but anyway.
No, you're right. And plus, again, social media, we allow it to define what success is, what wealth is, what it's almost like it gives us, if we allow it to, it'll give us our personal benchmarks for what we have to achieve in order to feel like somebody else feels like we're successful. Yeah. And in all of that, where's the what's important to you?
Isn't that scary?
Well, but here's another part of living unapologetically I don't think a lot of people think about is you are judgment free towards others. When you are truly in your bag. And it's just like, this is just who I am. I'm okay with it. I love myself. I'm moving this way. I am not here to offend. I am here for to live. If it offends you, then we will not be in the same space. It's super easy.
And it's not coming from a place of anger.
It is not. But when you really in it, it does not matter if someone has a complete opposite feeling. I'm talking about conservatives and the biggest liberal you could think of can be in the same room and not be triggered by somebody else's life decisions, because you totally understand that is their right. That is their I am in them that allows them to be who they are. And who the hell am I to say that it's wrong or right? It's judgment free. That's right there, and it allows you to be judgment free with yourself.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember to stop judging yourself.
Yes, to that, because I mean, I feel like I've said this before. I'm a work in progress, for real. But ultimately, what feels good for you, do that. What makes you smile?
Yep.
Do that.
Yep.
Like, what makes your heart flutter or expand? Do that. Do that. Like, what? For me, I love making people laugh. Like, I promise you, in a past life, I feel like I was a comedian. But I just enjoy being silly. I enjoy having a good time. I enjoy shaking my ass. I do. And maybe it's from, I'm a trained dancer and I've never been able to jiggle stuff, but I actually enjoy it. No, but I'm for real. Do what feels good for you.
No, I'm just...
Do what feels good for you.
Absolutely. So here's another thing, and I think this is a big one, especially in the spiritual community, you guys. So there are so many modalities, and I like to call them curriculums.
Yep.
Or lineages that people choose to follow for themselves. Mm-hmm. And honestly, you guys, it's all of these different curriculum are all a journey to self. All this is a journey back to self, a journey to the one, a journey to understanding your God self as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people start getting spiritual, we're going to keep it real funky for real. When people start getting spiritual and start understanding themselves more and understanding people and understanding the collective, sometimes people can get a little highfalutin and say this is the only way that it's supposed to be done. So let me be very clear about something.
Ooh.
I am always very cautious when I'm speaking to people who may follow a different spiritual methodology and say that it is the only way. Because when you truly understand that everything is the right way, we're all saying the same thing. The paths are carved out different, and some of them you swim and some of them you climb mountains. The descriptions, the tone, the rituals, they are all correct. There is not one that is better or over another one. The only thing that is better is what's better for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that we are in this space where we are able to choose the type of life that we want to live, and we get to choose. There's so much more understanding and awareness of the path. You get to choose your path back to yourself, whether you choose Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Taoism, witchcraft, whatever. It's all correct. It's all correct. The only conflict comes in when someone tries to tell you that the way that you've chosen to live your life and find yourself,
it's just so wild to me.
Find your way back to you is
wrong.
Like what?
Oh my goodness! Like now that I think about it, now what? I'm like, wait, what? Who? Wait.
So you guys, living unapologetically spiritually is so much more difficult than living unapologetically in our 3D selves, because there are such strong opinions and feelings about what the right way is for people to live their spiritual lives. It's whole wars fought about that. Like, seriously. So how do we get to a place where everyone is free to find their God self in whatever way they want to be, or find God? Let's just say, I'm gonna just keep it. Find God, a relationship with God, in whichever way that you define that. How do we get to a place where you're okay with whatever that chosen methodology is for yourself, and you're so unapologetic and sure and confident in you that it allows you to look at someone who's doing something completely different? They could be doing blood magic and you're like, you can't do that. Who said that? That's what they chose to do.
Right.
But when you are unapologetic, you allow other people to be unapologetic in your space. I don't have to be your friend or do what you do, but I'm in a space where I allow you to be who you are. And to me, I do believe that the highest form of love is understanding. Understanding that, allowing people to be who they are. I think that's one of the highest forms of love that we can offer.
I have to agree with that. And honestly, working a lot on myself and learning to be free and living my authentic truth. Again, it's not perfect, but I do feel like I now look at people like, okay, well, I don't have an opinion about whatever it is that they're doing because that's them. That has nothing to do with me.
And what would my opinion do?
Right, like,
you know what I mean?
So I'm like, okay, like I have been in conversations, but they did this. All right, so that's what they chose to do. Next, let's talk about something else.
And man, it's so difficult finally coming to the conclusion and understanding that you really can't control.
You really can't.
People gonna do whatever. They can look at you straight. Yes, people can. Okay, look. Yes, people can look at you straight in your eyeballs. Put their hand on a stack of Bibles and lie.
Oh, absolutely. Like
actual facts.
Like a book is going to keep people from lying.
I mean, no, people that's just their chosen path. And then when we learn that people have lied to us, and it's like almost like we keep asking them, begging them, please don't lie. Like, are you telling the truth this time? Please tell me you're telling the truth. Of course, no, I would never lie to you. No, blah 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 blah. And they do it again. Who's the crazy one? Us for believing it. Like, believe what somebody has shown you. And we take it so personal. Like, I can't believe they're lying to me and blah, blah, blah. Because they don't have to. And I really do feel like that. I really do feel like there's literally no reason. Like, for real, no reason to lie. Be you.
Yeah.
But I also understand that there's nothing I can do if someone's going to keep lying about that. I could just choose to not listen to your lies. Just like if I turn on a song, I can't stand what they're talking about. You think I'm going to sit up there and listen to the songs, learn all the lyrics? This is what people freaking do. I can't stand this song. I can't stand this comedian. Then they would sit up there and tell you their entire stand-up show that they cannot stand. Who the fuck does that? I'm sorry, y'all. It's like, come on, y'all. If it don't rock with you, no, seriously, like if it doesn't rock with you, turn the channel.
Yeah.
Walk away. Say nothing. Like,
it really is that easy.
And it is that easy.
Like if I post something, just scroll to another page. Like, it's my opinion.
Thank you. It's your platform.
Yeah.
So when we say be judgment free and allowing people to be who they are, like that. You don't even have to, like, if you see something somebody says or posts or does and it's in alignment with you, if you want to say, oh, that's amazing, or I like that, or thank you, I needed to hear that. But it's literally people who go around, now watch this. It's literally people who go around to find something to complain about. And watch this.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Right, but watch this. They free to do that, too.
Yeah.
Do I understand? Nope. Do I have to understand? Fuck no.
But the one thing I'm like, just remember what you're putting out is going to come back to you. So
if you keep complaining about something, it's going to come to you. But my point is, there are literally people, in full knowledge and knowing and understand that they spend their life finding things that make them mad. Like, that's it. And that's what they chose. So are we supposed to say that they're wrong?
No.
It's like, oh, that's not something I would like to do. Like, you're complaining, going to do a damn thing about what I'm doing. But if you are conscious of, why am I always complaining about something? Because the world is so messed up. It's like, nope, you're always complaining because you're always complaining. Yep. That's because you're choosing to do. You don't have to deal with none of it.
Oh,
everything is choices. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So, Christy, how do we start living unapologetically?
Well, I mean, you kind of just talked about it. Stop apologizing for who you are, but also work on the fear of being seen, being rejected, and being judged. And honestly, this can mean something different for everyone, because when I'm thinking fear of being seen, once you really start living unapologetically, there's just a different energy that you carry. And so when you walk into a room, people are going to pick up on that energy. They're going to notice you. And so if that is something just you get used to, have you had, like, you walk into a room and people are like, oh my goodness, or you can tell people are staring at you or looking at you?
There's a presence there.
Yeah, there is. There is a different energy that you keep. And then being rejected, there are some people that aren't going to be able to handle that. Yeah. Again, we talked about it too. Like, as you shift and you evolve and you expand, in this life, the people around you, some of them you're going to lose, and it's okay.
And I mean, because what do we say? There's always blessings in our lessons.
Always.
And a challenge.
Always.
I say this all the time. There's this saying that, fail until you succeed. So you will always have those times. I also understand, be it as it may that you may be the person who is non-judgmental, you're still going to get judged. So do you change and say, well, since I'm the only person that's not being judgmental, I'm going to start judging? Nope. Stay authentic.
Yep, that's true. And then being judged, honestly, there's nothing that you can do about that. Again, I don't lose sleep. I sleep very well at night. No, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, you honestly can't change the way a person perceives you or views you. You can't.
You can't. And also, you guys, in order to live unapologetically, I would think that means that there's an understanding of who you are and what you are. What, like Christy said, chase your joy. What makes you happy? What makes you feel good? What tickles your fancy? It is what it is. It doesn't matter if there's no one else around you who agrees or has the same interest as you. When you start being authentic to whom and what it is that you are, like attracts like. It's coming your way. Okay? So the best way to start living unapologetically is to start the journey to truly understanding who you are.
Ooh, when I tell you, the more you know about yourself, you will be amazed. Like, are you really upset because I'm not doing this? Wait, I just don't understand. The more you know yourself, and it's not an arrogancy, it's just a full understanding. Like, I know who I am. Like, you don't have to question me or anyway. Okay. And these, I can say these last two quickly. Mm-hmm. Give yourself grace. Yeah. It's not, living unapologetically, I'd say I have more days where I'm able to do that, but there are days where I don't. And that's okay. Give yourself grace. Every day is not going to be perfect. Every day, you might find yourself in a low. But, there's something to learn in those seasons. But know that you are enough. That has nothing to do with your worth. You are worthy just because of who you are. You woke up, open up your eyes. So, okay. And then also, right. Okay. And then be okay not being okay. And as the more you get to know yourself, you're going to become more honest with yourself and your feelings. Because when I tell you that I used to hide the way that I feel, I'm now like, okay, Christy, you're having this feeling in your chest and your eyes are starting to well up, just allow it to happen. There's something in this, like there's a freedom in being able to do that and not judging yourself.
So before we go into our takeaways and finish off this episode, Christy, can you share the information about the sound healing?
Ooh, you guys, I am so excited. So me and we are going to be joining forces for a Juneteenth sound meditation at the LaSalle Hotel. So this is a pop-up that we are doing. I'm really excited about this. So if you all don't have anything scheduled, please come out. It is from 6 p.m. 6 to 7, let's explore our curated local artisan market. There's a pop-up shop with some small brands, so you can go there and shop. From 7 to 8, it's a sound meditation, so we will be there. It's going to be lit. From 8 to 9, there's a community hour at the market, so dress comfortably, bring a yoga mat, blanket, pillow, eye mask, anything to make you feel warm and cozy, and just come and just be.
You guys, seriously though, real talk, if you do have an eye mask or something, I highly, highly suggest lying down and putting an eye mask on while you listen to the sound healing. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Might have a gummy too if you really want to take a gummy.
Yeah, you might want to have a gummy. That's the best part.
So, Christy, what's your takeaway for today's episode?
No, honestly, it is all a journey, and be okay with it. Sometimes the road is crystal clear. There's no debris. The sky is just clear, bright blue, and then there are other days where you can't see in front of yourself.
Woo!
But wherever you are, it will be okay. You just have to allow yourself to just be.
That part.
Yeah.
Look at my.
What's your takeaway?
I think when I think about the concept of living unapologetically, really and truly, what we're saying is just live. Feel free to live, but because of our human condition and the fact that we need to label and try to bring some understanding to this concept, we're calling it live unapologetically. But truly what it is live. Don't survive, thrive. And whatever it is that means for you, and get to the work on understanding or getting to the point where you feel so free and confident and have faith in who and what it is that you are, that nobody else's opinion matters. Nothing else matters but your path and your way. So that's the takeaway.
That's a good takeaway.
So do we have I was gonna say how long have we been running our mouths?
We have been talking for 53 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna do a 3-card pull real quick.
Ooh.
We're gonna come in under an hour, guys. I'm gonna do a quick little message for the collective.
Message for the collective.
You need help. Okay, let's see.
Hey, I'm doing what feels good to me.
That's right.
Being weird a little bit feels good. Feel good.
Does it tickle? Does it tickle? Ooh, okay. Yeah, people stepping in their jammies. Okay. So you guys know I'm an energy. I'm reading. This is energy that I'm reading off of these cards. So this is what we have here, you guys. Okay, overall energy is it's the 9 of Pentacles energy, but that is the energy of the independent, stepping into your full. This is so interesting. This is messages coming. Stepping into your full self, and whatever that is, knowing that it is it has queen energy to it. It has divine energy. Your authentic self is empress level, okay? And so you guys, how can I say this? Don't dilly-dally. When I say this is such beautiful time and energy to strike while the iron is hot, this is the energy of, you know what? You tried everything else. Trust you. You tried everything else. Why not? Go for it. Move forward in peace. So we're not saying rush. We're not saying expeditiously, but peacefully. Allow the path to unfold. If you feel like you are pushing, rushing, or forcing anything, this isn't that time. This is the time for you to be receptive to the synchronicities that you are experiencing, to the opportunities that are coming up out of nowhere. Remember we said this is the karma harvest season. Your karma harvest season is upon you. And this is a great opportunity no matter what that harvest is. Because if that harvest is, like I said, if it's some BS and you're like, what is going on? That allows you, it almost forces you, I should say, and I just said don't force anything, but it also, the trauma triggers you to say, what in the heck is going on? And not what's going on outside of you. This is really like, well, what's going on with me? Why did I plant these seeds? What about me? And if you start being honest with yourself, you say like, oh, I was this. Oh, I did do that. But I did. And then we go, I did that because of this. Anytime you start making an excuse for your behavior and it has something to do with somebody else, you're not living authentically. You're not stepping in your bag. You have literally full whole stepped out of yourself and allowing somebody else to run you. You are now giving your remote control to the character that you're playing to other people. And that's crazy. You're going to pass it around the room. You're going to let these people spiritually gangbang you? Girl, no, absolutely not. So this is about stepping into your full queen, divine self, okay? And clearly this is a message for our divine feminine out there. And you guys know divine feminine, masculine are just labels of energy. We all embody masculine and feminine energies inside of us. So do not come for me on this gender shit. Anyway, so as I was saying, come through for you. So what's happening is we're at a crossroads. Man, I can't believe we're still at this freaking crossroad. So I remember we talked about a little bit of a portal that's opening for people to choose the timeline that they want to live in. You know one way and one way is new. Do not judge yourself. Be free, open, and honest with what it is that you truly desire and want. We still in red or blue pill moment, you guys. Remember, everybody did. There was equal choosing. So allow yourself to be in the space where you can be quiet enough to be honest with which way you want to go. This is that time. There's a new moon coming up. I don't have the date, but I know it's coming up soon because we just had the full moon on the 3rd, so it's probably 16 days. Wait, is that on my birthday? Can you look up when the new moon is real quick? I'm just curious. And when we talk about new moon, that's another opportunity for you to plant some seeds. Okay? So if you don't like this harvest season and you're like, this is not what I planted, you have another opportunity. Be intentional every day. Energy shift, changes, and transforms. Just because you don't like what's in front of you right now, please understand that you have the power. Just like you have the power, to create what is currently in front of you, understand that you have the power to create what's in front of you next. Okay?
The new moon's June 18th.
June 18th. Okay, cool. 6:30. That sounds right. So, wow. So you guys, thank you very much. We hope that this reached who it needed to reach. You guys know where to find us. Follow us at IG, 2 Queens Crystal Things. Let us know what you think, what you want to talk about. We certainly appreciate you guys sharing your journeys with us. It's so fascinating.
Yes.
I feel it feels
We met some of you cool listeners. Thank you for reaching out.
We actually really have met some really cool people.
Yeah, we have. And you guys can follow me Wings Unleashed 4444. And you can follow me. You know where to find me. But
at Christy R. Edwards.
Yes. And if you are local and you don't have plans for Juneteenth that evening, come on out and hang with us at the LaSalle Hotel. The link is on Eventbrite. I'm going to post it so you guys can register, but we hope to see you guys there.
All right, you guys.
Thank you.
Light,
peace,
love and soul. Till next time.